What if I were to suggest that you play a key role in the awakening world? And that you are watching this because you have heard the call. We can start right now by opening our hearts and minds. Welcome to the awakening world.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Awakening World. Happy Thanksgiving, happy Gratitude Week and weekend. I hope that all of you are feeling grateful. We have a really fun show tonight. It's all about raising our consciousness through joy and play. And so I want to briefly let you know some of the people that we're going to have with us tonight. My good friend Angel B is with us. And this man, I chose him for the show because he lives his life in play. And so he's coming to us from Jamaica, which is certainly known for its playfulness. So it's great to have him with us. Also, we have a new friend with us tonight, Rissa Vibes. I met her when we did the Unite Now show, and she knocked my socks off. She is brilliant. She's going to do a tarot reading for one of the members of our Zoom room. So if you would like to get a tarot reading, let me know. Send me a message, a private chat message. My good buddy, Jonathan Robinson, is with us. And, you know, here we are talking about joy. Well, this is the man who wrote The Technology of Joy, best-selling book. So Jonathan is with us, which is really, really fun. And we also have with us Dr. Heather Shea, and she is going to be supporting our animal friends. Now, it's our animal friends that teach us joy, and she is going to be doing readings for some of our animals. So if you would like a reading from about one of your pets, it's really important to send her photos. So in the chat box, send her a photo. And what else do you need for people to tell you, Heather?
Would love to know, if possible, how old they are, how long you have had them, and if there's other animals in the house. But what's most important, if you can tell me how old they are, how long you've had them, if you want to mention the breed, you know, and the other animals in the house, that would be great. And preferably a picture of one animal, but if there's multiple animals, just make sure I know which one it is. There's in multiple, and then one of just that animal.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Heather. This is going to be really fun. We also have with us Zenka Caro, she who gets people to bend spoons and levitate. We're going to hear a little bit more about that. But just before we go to Zenka, we, of course, have our beloved house musical artist, Omashar. He is back from Peru. And did your equipment arrive?
It did. A day and a half after I got back, I had to do some rattle sabering because it had got lost in Miami. And luckily, I managed to actually get a real life person rather than a machine. And we sorted it, and I'm playing it soon. So that's wonderful.
Yeah. Fantastic. All right. Well, what do you have as an opening song, my friend?
We will. It's funny because when I was posting tonight's show for Zenka, I put making the impossible possible. So I hope you're all right. So I hope you like that, sweetheart. And this song is called Freedom Comes with Letting Go.
Ooh,
Okay.
wow.
So let's go here. Oops. All right. We're good. And we're good. All right. Slowly. The open roads of this brand new start. People in the waiting room, the peace that flows through this loving heart. 'Cause freedom comes with letting go. Life renewed, new seeds to sow. So take my hand, I'm with you now. Relax yourself, your furrowed brow. The past has gone, so say hello. No looking back, onward we go. This is the life awaiting us. With family supporting us, the sword of truth has cleared the way for us to rise our brand new day. New mountain peaks for us to climb, new roads to walk, no reason why. It's time to smile and be as one. With all of life, a golden sun. This is the life awaiting us. And with family supporting us, the sword of truth has cleared the way for us to rise our brand new day. The It's life renewed, new seeds to sow.
That's all. Twinkle, our brother. Our friends were already twinkling. Everybody knows now about the twinkling. So we're going to go to gallery view, though, for a complete
A
full
complete
gallery
twinkle. I
view.
feel so twinkled. Twinkle, twinkle, own the star.
Twinkle, twinkle, Omashar.
Thank you, beloved ones. It's so fun. I love you all. Thank you.
We love you. Thank you so much. Great song to get the show started. Thank you so much. Well, every person we have on tonight is just a dynamic person who brings joy into everything they do. And that in itself is a lesson. And I'm so delighted that she was able to join us. She is one of the busiest people I know, but the great Zenka Caro is with us tonight. And Zenka is doing so many things all the time, but you do it with so much joy, Zenka. So thank you for being with us this evening.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's so great to be in this community and see all the Christmas sweaters and the jewelry and the dancing and the smiles. That's really like contagious. And it's just great that this community is gathering. And I love how you do this, Scott, like how it's a simulcast that's translated into all these different shows and YouTubes and Facebooks. It's just really cool, everything you're doing. And I love coming on the show and being part of this community. So
yeah. Thank you. It's great. So tell us, what are some tools for raising our consciousness through play that you can share with us tonight?
Yeah, for some reason, it was Omashar said, oh, this is about the making the impossible possible. And he said it's almost like letting go. So there's something weird that happens when we're actually just letting go and we're wrapped in the moment. And that's that moment of joy. And oftentimes we do things that we didn't think were possible. We just had the spoon bending this morning. We're working right now on the Purpose Lab, which is interesting. We had a fashion lab where we made made these. But the one thing we know for certain is that somehow the universe wants you to be in your joy. Which is very unique to each and every one of us. And I think a lot of the themes that we're getting in life are about authenticity and figuring out, we're all sort of coming to the potluck of life with a particular dish, carrot cake or whatever you're bringing. And so what we've discovered in the Purpose Lab is when people find their alignment or what they think, what do they feel is theirs to do and they're excited about and their joy, because what gives me joy is different than what gives you joy, Scott. So when you get lit up like that, something magical happens. And here's one thing that happened to me this week. It was so hilarious. So there's this girl in our Purpose Lab team of 8 to 12 where we're looking to find our passion and purpose in life. And she's like, this is crazy, but I want to record this song. It's been on my mind for 2 years and I just want to record this song. I have a friend that has, recording studio, except she had contacted a friend, last week and he didn't want to do it. He was too busy. It wasn't going to work. And she's like, well, I've got to find a recording studio here in Sedona. And we thought, oh, you can call John Dumas and get him. He might know someone. Sure enough, I walk into this place to get a smoothie for my kid. And I walk back to the back of the room, which I never do. And sitting there was this huge poster that just said, I have a recording studio and I can take any song that you might have and we can turn it into a professional song. Just bring it. And it was right there in Sedona. So there's things like that. They just are the answer to your prayers where you it's like, wow, it was perfect for what she needed. And so one of the things we're scratching our head about, and we're always so curious at LightNet why people can bend spoons or levitate or whatever. I mean, we have more people in the levitation lab that have levitated than people have got out of wheelchairs, which is absolutely crazy. But we have found that when you are so excited about the moment, it's just like falling in love, right? When you fall in love, you are outside of logic. You're doing things that are not less necessarily logical. You're going to the grocery store and doing this and this and this, or whatever it is. So I just want to impart that to people tonight, in spending time this holiday season. You know, your patterns might be broken, and this is a chance for you to carve some time away to make yourself happy, because you being happy is important to me being happy because I want to be around other people who are being happy. So I really just want to say that miracles, we have found, do happen when we get in our courage and we live our truth, and things like that, synchronicities happen. I recently saw the movie Wicked. I don't know if you guys have seen it. It's a musical, but it's sometimes movies have themes that touch us all. And this theme of this movie is about saying, well, I've just got to stick to my values no matter what. And even if I have to go there alone, and somehow that is deeply rewarding and needed right now. So I think it's really exciting. And I just want to say I love that we have an animal communicator that's going to be working with you guys tonight. You know, we just interviewed someone. This is an example of things that we think, okay, this is totally impossible. How is it possible to talk to an animal? And she says that Terry J, the woman that we interviewed, she'll get veterinarians that they cannot figure out what is wrong with the horse or the dog or whatever, and they send them directly to her because she can telepathically communicate with animals, and they can tell her what's going on with their bodies. So I think this kind of confirmation, I had a dinner party last night, and one of the girls at the dinner party was a medium, and someone it was just like, oh, can you channel this guy? And he said his name. And the first thing in my mind was, this guy's a businessman. This is a recent thing. But for her, it just immediately dropped through. And she's like, oh, I feel like crying. And then he started crying, and they had this whole healing, because she was channeling this past loved one and transferring all these messages that hadn't happened before he had passed away. And it was like this major closure moment. And this is why I get up in the morning, because I can't believe that we can do this stuff. This truly is the impossible made possible. And the Wicked story is also about levitation. A guru friend of mine, who I won't talk about his name, but they were like, oh, this guy's written a bunch of books, and my friend was like, oh, he levitated 9 feet off the ground the other day, and I was just like, what? So this stuff is starting to happen because we're opening our minds a little bit more to what might be possible. And so I guess I encourage everyone, as we go into 2025, to really focus on what we want, because I think that's sort of the hardest part in a way, is to really know what lights us up. And often it comes with like setting aside some time every week. But once we know what we want, I'm here to tell you that you can have it. You can have whatever you want, no matter how outlandish it sounds, because there's a way that if you become that thing, then you will align to that, and you will be allowed to experience that. And it sounds crazy, but I've been collecting stories of people that this is, true for. So I just feel really grateful for having my mind opened as I interview people. And we encourage all you guys to join us in our quest in 2025 to interview people who talk to past loved ones, interview people who've levitated, gotten out of a wheelchair. These are the types of people that we want to ask them, how did you do this? What did you do? Because if I can do it, you can do it. And if they can do it, we can do it.
Well, there's a lot of questions coming in about the levitation, of course. So in a moment, if you could share with people your experiences of watching people levitate or how they've done it. And I'm going to read just a couple comments coming in from our audience. Eleanor Joy writes, Zenka, your enthusiasm is contagious, right? That's why I wanted to start with Zenka tonight. Susan Bloomquist writes, Zenka gets to live in the land of miracles, and she opens this up to all. Connie writes, it's happening because our frequency is rising into new realities. Grace Denise writes, synchronicity. My day happened to begin with my coming across an article in Substack about the importance of play for adults just before tonight's show on play. And then the question from Carol, can we see some videos of the levitation? And if not videos, can you share with us about it?
So I love all those comments. It's great to see you, Connie, and everyone. Yeah, play is what gets your mind out of rigidity, that makes you think that there's only one solution or one way to get there. So when we're in play, kids can bend spoons a lot easier than adults do because they're in play. I was rereading for the Purpose Lab this Tim Robbins book. Here, I actually have it there. Isn't that hilarious? He's like, looks like he's 20 years old. But, one of the things he says is write a list of the things that you will no longer tolerate in your life, and write a list of the things that you are aspiring to become.
Mm-hmm.
And he says we carry around a lot of BS. And he said BS stands for belief system. And we have all sorts of rules and belief systems that I can't write a book because it takes so long. I can't get the job because I'm not this. I can't cure myself because of this. And I can't, whatever. Those are just belief systems. And when you change your belief, you change your life. Mm-hmm. And so it's really exciting. And I think what we've learned in the Purpose Lab is courage is the biggest factor that we studied in 100 people who were living their purpose. Courage was number one. So I'm going to tell you, once you go out and do this thing that your soul is calling you to do that you've never done before, it might not be that easy, but it's not possible. And the hardest part is the first part, right? So in levitation, we have, this seemed absolutely ridiculous to me. Levitation, it just seemed like I had heard about these guys that might be living in monks that might be living off somewhere in Asia, and that they had levitated when no one's looking, or they had done it, so I kind of vaguely thought, okay, this might be possible. But when we opened up the lab to say, okay, let's interview 100 people and ask them how they did it, we started getting more and more people coming to us and saying yeah, I've done it, or I know someone who's done it. And this was interesting to me. So one of the things we know about it, I guess I can say this. Okay, so one of the first ones I'd heard about was Nassim Harriman told me he levitated. And I was like, what? He's like, yeah, I used to do it in my sleep. And my roommate would wake up and see me hovering off the ground by a foot. And this was when he was fasting. He went through a time where he wasn't even eating because he was in deep, meditation. And his roommate wanted to kick him out. And this is also, for other people that we've talked to, they said that their spouses couldn't handle it, and what have you. Other people we've interviewed have had this in quasi remembered dream states where they're lifted off their bed often, then they go sideways, and then they're tilted forward. And that kind of levitation is almost like sleep paralysis, where you're not really doing it, and you can't really move, but you can notice what's happening around you. And like I said, we just got this call, someone that's that's written a bunch of books, and we'll find out if we can announce who it was, levitated 9 feet. And so it's actually something to do with the way our minds think we could or we cannot do it. Again, it's like the 10-minute mile, impossible to run 4-minute mile, right? And then all of a sudden someone did it, and then 2,000 people have done it. So I tend to think that levitation happens when there's beings in touch with you from the other side. That seems to be some of the pattern that we're seeing, is there was some sort of a connection with beings on the other side. Maybe that's wrong. That's my theory kind of around spoon mending. I'm not even sure if I'm doing it. I feel like there's some sort of interaction that's happening. But regardless, it's in our minds. Our minds are the things that stop us. We are the ones that stop ourselves from everything we've ever wanted. And it has to do with that BS factor, that belief system. So I think the more people start to do this, and it's in the lore now. So in Star Trek, they were levitating, and now, there's Wicked is all about her levitating. It comes, she's at the end in her dramatic, pivotal character moment, and she's like, I'm doing this. She's taking that leap of faith and going forward. So I think that we're going to see this in the next couple of years, more and more people that are able to do this. And just like, Uri Geller, who teleported, he doesn't know how he did it. He doesn't know it's repeatable. It's very rare that we meet a levitator that can just do it on demand. Like, okay, no problem. But they've done it, and they haven't, they're like, wow. So this is the kind of thing that we're going to start to see more of as we tap into the capability that we have as humans to reach our full potential.
There's a wonderful question that is coming in, and it's, can you share more about courage being the first step? That's from Grace Denise.
Yeah, so it's interesting because when we interview these 100 people, we ask them, how did you find your passion and purpose? Only 5% are doing it. How did you do it? And a lot of them said courage. Now, courage is it's that voice in your head that goes, I don't think I could be a professional singer because it's hard. Or I don't know if I could be a famous actor. I don't know if I could be an artist because I'm not sure. So there's all these doubts that stack up. And a lot of people want to do something, but they're not even sure where to start. And it seems completely overwhelming. Like writing a book. It's like, well, you just have to start with the first page. And so one of the things we teach in the Purpose Lab is to write down 10 of the things that you're scared of. And this could be, I don't want to talk to my mom about this. I don't want to mention this. I don't want to do this. I don't want to try to apply for this. I don't want to, whatever it is. So you write those 10 things down, and then you order them in order of difficulty. So the things that come, that are less scary, the least scary thing is the thing you're going to start with. You're going to apply your courage to that, and you're going to write what happens. So it's a muscle that you have to actually start to use as muscle. And so you try it on the small stuff. And what we all realize is the sky doesn't fall. We realize the things we're scared of are this huge thing that we built up in my mind, your mind, of your imagination, of all the things that could go wrong, instead of all the things that could go right. And when you're in the motion, the energy is already moving you toward that. For some reason, the universe always seems to rise to meet you if you're committed. And there's often a way to do something somehow. And we often talk about not waiting for money when we do the Dream Machine projects. Just go forward without any money and see how far you can get, and the money arise. So it's really talking ourselves. And, Tim Robbins, in his book, he says, take a diet, a mental diet. And what he recommends is anytime you self-sabotage yourself for more than, I believe it's 10 minutes. Like, you think of a negative thought, like, I really want to write this song, but I can't find a recording studio that I could afford, and this and that, or whatever it is, right? And then, so that's a negative thought, because you're thinking, I'm not going to afford it. You can't find it. They're not going to want to work with me, blah, 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 blah. Then, so you would have failed if you thought about that for more than 10 minutes. Otherwise, you're like, oh, that's coming up for me, that I'm not going to afford it, that it's going to be hard to find, whatever. You just embrace it and say, oh, poor Zenka, she has these thoughts that it's not going to be possible. I'm going to put that to the side, and then you go on. Now, if you spend more than 10 minutes dwelling on negativity of any kind, you have to start the day over. And you're trying to get through 10 consecutive days of thinking positively about the possibilities of your life, and watch how that will change your life.
Beautiful. Absolutely beautiful. Well, Zenka, people are asking, are there videos of people levitating?
So, we've seen a lot of people haven't felt comfortable. Well, for number one, I told you a lot of people are not sure how to redo it.
Right.
And then there's also this latent paranoia, like, oh, someone's going to hurt me if I show that I can do this, which is not true. So there's a levitator that we know in Russia that teaches levitation, that posts images of him levitating. And I don't have that list right now, but so as far as we don't have images of that yet, but it's something that we want to do. And I think it's just a matter of us, like, I'm trying to think of other examples where you guys in your life, it was as extreme, like no human can go to outer space, or I don't know what it was, what we could think of that seems absolutely impossible. And
A
yet,
man on the moon. I mean, believe me, for a long time, a man on the moon. I mean, things we take for granted, the fact that we can pick up radio waves, the fact that I can, I mean, there's so many things we take for granted that are like, well, how does that really happen, right? How is it that this device can pick up thousands of different broadcasts? It is amazing. And one thing I know is that you're very involved in disclosure. Of course, we've done a lot of shows on disclosure. And I do think that there is, what's the word I'm looking for? There is a commonality that as we are accepting that UFOs are with us and have been with us, we're also accepting miracles like this. And we're accepting more and more magic. Now, again, there may be a scientific part to all of it. And from another point of view, it's magical because it's different than what we grew up or knew. But as our consciousness is expanding, then all these different things are possible. Yes, we can talk to our deceased loved ones. Yes, there are UFOs. Yes, we can connect to our angels. Yes, we can, and now we're going to start moving more into teleportation and levitation. And I want to levitate. I always have wanted to levitate. So if I can levitate, you can make a video of me, and I'm happy to share it with the world.
Yeah, and we believe that anybody's capable of doing this. So that's the whole concept behind LightNet. It's a think tank, it's a nonprofit, and we're going to study 100 people who talk to their grandparents after they passed, 100 people who bent spoons, 100 people who levitated, and look for a pattern. And then we're going to try it together in a power of 8 to 12, like Lynn McTaggart saying, okay, we got 8 people together. We cannot fail. We've got this support network. So that's another thing that can be really helpful when we're up against like fighting the sea or whatever, whatever disease we're having, it's like when you have your team of people who are like, I got you, you are going to levitate, you are going to walk again. And that's equally as bizarre as levitating is the guy getting out of a wheelchair, because we know there's no cure for paralysis, and yet people do it. So that's kind of where we're pointing to. We're saying, what is consciousness? And if it is a choice, if we do have a choice, then let's join together and make good choices about what we want to see in the world. And so yeah, it really just starts with curiosity and opening our minds to what is newly possible. You know, I mean, even the little things, you know, I remember giving talks like as a futurist 4 years ago about having I'm like, yeah, you're gonna have outfits that are going to like match the temperature of yourself. So you can be in a room where someone else likes it colder than you, but it's like all your clothes are giving you exactly the temperature you need. And Adam just bought me a coat that is temperature regulated for me. And it was only $100, you know, like
Right.
like what? Like it's ridiculous. So the future is here. And yet the most powerful technology on the planet is your heart. It is hands down your heart. So this kind of puts everything back in our court. If we can support each other as a community, like we're doing tonight, if we can carve out, just like the Wicked girl, you know, the heroine in Wicked had to do it literally alone. She like parts with her best friend just to like, oh, I got to go with this alone. But conviction and going out alone builds this bigger community. And eventually we will be healing ourselves through energy work. We will be levitating and all the things that we believe that we choose to do.
Wow. You're right. I'm going to tell a quick story, and then we're going to go to LightNet and learn how people can do more work with you.
Awesome.
I perform wedding ceremonies, and quite a while ago, one of the wedding ceremonies I performed was they decided they wanted to do it in their home. And their home was fairly small, and they had way more people come than they had planned for. And I don't remember the exact numbers, but I think we had like 70 people squeezed in there. There's no way you can put 70 people in. Like, there's just no way. Like when after it was all over and we looked around and we realized everybody was in, everybody saw it, everybody had space. But then when everybody was gone, I was like, there's no way we had that many people in here. And it was as though the group consensus reality shifted the size and the space so that there was room for everybody, because it was a wedding and it was magical and it was love. And that we still talk about that, about the amazing time that your house expanded to accommodate all the people at your wedding, you know, so things happen like that. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah, when we can get like Connie and Andrew, they work as a team. They've got this solid field, and that's all it takes is just tying into each other and supporting each other through our mountains that we're doing, through our impossibles, whether the impossible is talking to your estranged sister or giving a gift of reconciliation with someone that you've had a grudge with. But it's all it's really worth it. And magic is right here for all of us. So it's not something
I am going to where people can get more magic.
Yes.
And this is, of course, Zinka is very involved in the Holo movement. We've done many shows on the Holo movement and with our friends there. And if you go to holomovement.net and get involved and get part of her Purpose Lab. So definitely accept her cookies. She gives good cookies. And join and tell us about the Purpose Lab, how people, you know, what happens when they join.
Yeah, and you can go ahead and hit close on the bottom there. It's hard to find, but yeah. So we are in the 6th week of the Purpose Lab, where we said, okay, these people were empty nesters, just got divorced, or was changing careers, whatever, and they said, oh, let's get in a group of 8 to 12 and figure out our purpose. So we have these teams that you can join, and we'll be doing those again in the spring. But right here, if you look at the podcast right here that you have up below, Awaken Your Purpose podcast, if you click on that, explore it here, you'll see that every week on Apple Podcasts, if you look for Awaken Your Purpose or go to Spotify, you will see, if you scroll down, all these cool episodes. We have a yoga teacher, Karuna, Carlos, or you can hit close there. Yeah, Cynthia Clark is a hand analysis reader. Ben Bowler, we all know and love here at Global Peace Tribe, the mayor of Sedona. These are all people's stories of how this winding path of courage entered their lives. Lynn McTaggart, head of AI at Google, Gopi, you know, Marty Casey, who we know and love. These are all people who had the guts that will make you also have the guts to go after your dreams before it's too late. It's really great.
Wow. Well, that's great to know about that. And you got everybody, Bruce Lipton. And
Yeah.
so, Zenka, I'm hoping to see you. I'm going to be in Sedona from December 11th to the 15th or so. So hopefully I'll levitate while I'm with you.
Yes.
We can film it and send it to Carol Craig because she wants to see the video.
I'm going to get the camera ready.
Love you. Thank you so much, Zenka, for being with us.
My pleasure.
And hey, everybody, remember to go to lightnet.org. Lightnet.org is where you can find all things Zenka. And I'll put that in the chat box again. I put it in before. I'm also loving how many people are putting their pictures of their cats and their dogs. So we're going to have a lot of fun pet readings tonight. All right, well, I'm going to roll right into our next guest because we're already over time, but I just couldn't stop Zenka because she's amazing. And here is another amazing woman, a new friend to the Awakening World. This is Rissa Vibes. Hello, Rissa.
Hi. Hi, everyone. Can you hear me okay?
You could be a little bit louder.
Okay. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, it's
Hey,
good.
everybody. Good to see you all. Thank you so much. Thank you, Scott, for having me. Wow, thank you. That was amazing. I honestly can't wait to dive deeper in with you on levitation. I actually had a levitation experience back in 20, I think it was 2016 or 17. And I levitated like 4 or 5 inches off the ground and came out of meditation, fell off of my levitation and was like, what just happened? So really, really fun. And cool synchronicity there. So I'd love to dive deeper with you eventually, but thank you so much for your presentation. That was amazing.
Yeah, I can't wait to get in touch with you. See what I mean? You set out a goal. It's impossible to find 100 people levitating here randomly. You're like, oh, me. This is the richness of life, of the mystery and the adventure. So I'm so excited to hear you sing and also can't wait to contact you.
Thank you. Yeah, so I'm here to provide some musical offerings and also to offer a oracle reading. I did create my own oracle card deck that I have here that I'll be using. These are just messages I channeled personally for the collective and my audience. And I also have some other oracles. So if spirit calls me to use some other oracles, I will. But
beautiful. Well, we already have somebody who really wants to get a reading from you.
yes,
and so Patricia Dixon, I am bringing you onto the camera. There
hi,
she is.
Patricia.
Hey,
How are you?
good. Thanks so much.
Yeah, absolutely. So I always like to pull about 3 cards and then we'll kind of go through with my own messages because I'm a channel as well. So I'll be talking directly to your spirit guides as we pull the cards. Is there anything in particular, an area of your life you want me to focus on? Love life, work life, family life, spiritual growth, or just something, whatever the cards have to say?
Well, I have been like kind of in limbo with my work life, going back and forth between like different positions and roles, and it's been really like emotionally exhausting because, I'm just like taking on too much at work, but not able to like let something go. And so I've been in limbo with that space.
Perfect. Thank you so much for sharing that. I just got one card that flew out of the deck. I don't know if y'all saw that. I'm going to see what else is coming up.
Rissa, if there's any chance of you turning your volume up, please.
Oh, more. Okay.
Yes, please.
Let's see. How about now? Or now? How about now?
You could even go louder if you wanted.
Is it going up as I'm talking?
No.
Oh, so funny. Okay.
Just speak louder.
Let's see. Let's try. How about now? Can you hear me okay now?
Yes.
Much better. Okay, wonderful. Yay. Okay, well, I had one card that flew out of the deck just a second ago. I'm just gonna feel into a couple more cards just in your direction with work. You're feeling a little bit in limbo. What are you meant to? There we go. Focus on. And then I'm going to put one more card with the heart deck, the energy of your heart and your heart's direction. Where does it really want to be? Where does her heart really want to be? What does it really want to focus on? There it is. Beautiful. Okay, let's see what we got. First card, Patricia, is the holistic healing card. So whatever has been kind of feeling dull or lackluster in your work life, particularly, maybe you've been feeling more fatigued, maybe you've been feeling even digestive issues when you go into work, like a stress or dysregulated nervous system. I'm getting kind of this stress energy and fatigue that it's paired, and that you may be getting some physiological signs of that as well. And your guides are saying holistic healing is really important. Finding a naturopathic way to reinvigorate some of your energy, whether it's really focusing on maybe a detox, could be some liver detox, kidney detox, overall body detox. And also I'm hearing getting more of a focus on rest and even supplements and vitamins, things you might be depleted of that could be also affecting your stress levels at work. And also it just feels like overall you haven't been focused on your health because of this work stuff. And so by getting really clear on what is your body reflecting to you, what is your body saying to you through different ailments, different physiological signs, and then finding the holistic healing methods that are really calling to you intuitively to help satisfy some of those issues. And it says immune boost with naturopathic and spiritual wellness. Right now, your body may be needing healing and well-being through natural remedies and energetic assessment. It is a great time to check in with a holistic healer for anything that has felt a little off lately. Have you been feeling off? Has there been something kind of showing up for you?
Honestly, I actually have been detoxing from alcohol. I
Yeah.
haven't drank any alcohol in 15 days.
Good for you. Congratulations.
So I'm like, for those same reasons that you've talked about, like this stomach issues, like I'll have like
Yeah.
just real stomach issues and stuff like that. And so hearing that, like affirming, like I'm doing like a smoothie every morning with ashwagandha and
Good.
just like chia seeds and all my omegas.
Good.
Feel like I'm like already moving in that path, just trying to eat really healthy. So it's like affirming that I'm exactly where I'm supposed to be.
Yes. And look into liver and kidney detox, especially with the detoxing off of the alcohol, specific supplements, maybe a binder supplement, even castor oil packs on the liver and kidney at night would be really great. And I'm also hearing just honestly like more hydration, lemon water, ginger water, maybe the combo of those two. And red light therapy could really be supportive on the liver, kidneys as well. Just more focus on those two, because that will really help you feel more clear, not just in your body, but in your intuition on what to do, which is your next card, the intuitive luminary. So as a result of this detox you've already been embarking on, which you got that validation with the holistic healing, you are on the right track with that. With that, your intuition is going to be more clear, which is going to give you more awareness on what direction to go in work. You're going to have a kind of epiphany. I'm hearing spirit saying you're going to have an epiphany once this detox from the alcohol is complete, and you're really kind of over that hump of it, you're going to experience this clarity of like, oh my gosh, I know exactly what I'm meant to do with this work stuff. And it's just going to be your intuition. So my advice to you with that is really, really let yourself start trusting your intuition. Even out of all of the things I just mentioned, ask your intuition, what feels most important? Is it the red light therapy? Is it the castor oil? Is it the supplement? And just trust that and go with that first, and notice how that shows up as confirmation of your intuition. So you can start practicing that intuitive luminary that's already awakening. It says, you have done the work to activate your divine gifts and extrasensory perception. You have grown so much. Take pride in what you have learned, but remember, the learning never ends. The next steps are ascending you into your unique soul service and luminary leadership. So maybe you've been feeling called to do some specific type of intuitive or spiritual leadership, or tap into certain gifts to activate a new path for your career or something like that. Follow that, trust that. You're absolutely right. And, I do coaching as well. I do coaching and counseling for those who want to step into more of their gifts intuitively, and also develop them and turn careers into them, and really live that purpose. If you're feeling that is part of your mission. So, there's so much support for you in that. And the first thing is starting to trust that intuition and taking baby steps, even if that means like, oh, I'm going to manifest the perfect parking spot when I go to the grocery store.
I just did that.
There we go.
That's hilarious. You said that.
Perfect. Exactly. So your guides know, because they're with you all the time. So they're like, say that, mention that. She knows what we're talking about. So that's wonderful. So yeah, so trust that you're doing that. And then the last card that you have is just surrender. Surrender to the flow, surrender to the path. Know that you are following the path that is meant for you, as you continue to let go of any resistance to what the universe source is revealing to you as your path. So the more you surrender, the more you open up to receiving, the more you let go of fear and doubt and judgment of your experience. And the more you just let go, just like the song that we opened up with. I mean, it's so synchronistic, right? It's literally that. It's being able to just let go and trust that by letting go, you will find your purpose, you will find your rhythm, you will find your path. And, making sure you recognize where you're gripping, right? Like maybe the mind is got some of that BS that Zenki was talking about, right? Some of those belief systems that are keeping you from trusting your intuition, or tapping into a deeper level of holistic healing, or, maybe your mind tries to fight the path you're on in the detox, right? And just trust that you have the clarity and you're already following it. And the more you lean in and surrender to support from the universe, support from your guides, support from source, and guidance from them through signs and synchronicities, the more that you'll just continue to integrate into that path and really, pave that lane.
Thank you so much. That was great. It's very affirming to hear you say all those things, because I've tried going down this path and I just like start putting all the doubt in my head. I went 60 days. I'm not like a huge drinker, but I feel like it just like clouds my vision, and it clouds my thinking. And it went 60 days, and then I just kind of like gave up, even though I was feeling great. Like I had total confidence, and now I'm starting over again. So, I just really appreciate you just affirming and just letting me know that I'm on that right path, and I need to just trust that everything's going to go the way that I need it to go.
Yeah, absolutely. And just the last thing, I would encourage you to use your journal and maybe journal about what it is, that part of your mind or that part of your being that was kind of gripping back to the past and wanting to, stop that kind of flow that you had, that momentum you had with not drinking. And just ask yourself, what part of me is gripping to this old version of myself and not going along with the rest of me that is really enjoying this sobriety, right? And you know, speak to that part of yourself that's having a hard time surrendering to the new path. And I think just by journaling and opening up that kind of consciousness and asking yourself those questions in your journal, answers will come, and it'll help you to really stay the course even more this time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm so happy to support you. Thank you for being so vulnerable and receiving.
Oh, that was beautiful. Thank you so much, Patricia, and congratulations on your courage to just make healthy choices. That's very inspiring for all of us. Thank you. Rissa, you're so wonderful. Would you be willing to do one more quickie reading for somebody?
Yes, of course. Absolutely. I'm happy to support. Yeah.
Pat is one of our regulars, and she's had her hand up. So,
you know, Pat, I was looking at your picture and your video in the group, and I was like, there's something about her energy that just feels very magnetic. So I love that you had your hand up because I felt called to you as well. Yes. Would you like to share a little intention? Do you have something that you would want? You're muted right now, but if you unmute, you can share.
Okay. No, I just like a reading to see what
Sure.
comes up.
Just see whatever comes up. Perfect.
Absolutely.
All right, let's see.
Yeah.
I'm going to use the other deck I haven't used yet. For you, Pat. What does she meant to know? What is she meant to receive today? What is Pat? Oh, there it goes. We got all three cards right there in that first. Wow, so cool. Okay, perfect. So these cards are really fun, y'all. I love the imagery. So the first card is Karmic Debt. And this card is so beautiful because we are in the 8 year, and the 8 year, 2024 equal 8. This is the infinity number, and it's also the number of karma. What you give in, you receive. What you give in, you receive. And so you are receiving a lot right now. See how she's pulling it in, and she's holding it to her heart. So right now, Pat, you've been experiencing quite a bit of harmony, quite a bit of love, quite a bit of awareness, synchronicity, connectivity, and you're receiving so much of what you've given others throughout your life. And it's all coming back to you in a really beautiful way, in a really abundant way. And there's this energy I'm feeling with like your infinite experience, your infinite consciousness, your soul, and your continuance of life beyond this life. That there's this almost like this full circle, like you've done what you're meant to do, and your soul is going to benefit so much from it, not just in this life, but beyond. And that you're getting a lot of that right now, confirmation, and a lot of what your legacy is. Maybe you've got some grandkiddos or something that's really been showing you that you've impacted your lineage, and you've impacted others far beyond you know, what you could fathom. And it's really, really beautiful. And a lot of creative energy too that might be coming through as a result, or that you're seeing as a result of what you've made.
Wonderful, wonderful. Thank you.
Yeah, next card is plant seeds. So with all this beautiful momentum and all this energy of synchronicity and harmony, you get to kind of plant a new seed. You get to kind of step into a new rebirthing, a new life. 1 +
That's
9
what I'm
is
feeling. I'm feeling that that's what I'm doing. So I'm shifting, releasing energies that are, you know, it's a process. Each day is a new day.
Yes, absolutely. So plant the seeds of the life that you want to experience now that you're releasing, because you're letting go of things so that you can create space for new things to be seeded and sprouted and grow. And so the more that you kind of set those intentions for what it is you want to grow from this new space you're creating, the more you'll see that show up. And the last thing is the Forest Tears, this is like a beautiful card, because this is saying, you know, you can let yourself be moved by emotion of the significance and the beauty of all of this, whether it's tears of joy or even tears of grieving the old stuff that you're letting go, being okay with the emotions that are coming up, because the emotions are also a cleansing. The emotions are also a opening up of the heart. The emotions are also this tenderizing of the heart center, to where you're able to even use the heart as more of a magnet that it is. And so let yourself be really immersed and accepting of whatever emotions come up, because they may be emotions that were linked to some of the things you're letting go that need to also be released so that that letting go is complete. And then they may be also some emotions that come in of just the excitement and the enthusiasm and the gratitude of what's to come. And all of that is energy in motion that you can use for continued creativity in this new path you're on.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah,
Very
I'm so
grateful.
happy to support
Very
you.
grateful.
You're such a beautiful soul.
Thank you so much. Each
Absolutely.
day is a new journey for me. Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, I feel this wonderful love coming in. I tried to stay heart-centered and breathe into my heart and send love to humanity, love and peace every day. And I have a gong, you know, tuning fork thing.
We
I
feel
send
it.
prayers to the earth every day.
Good. Yes. Ah, beautiful. Planting those seeds of love and connectivity and
Love to
continued
We
expansion.
are all beautiful beings of divine love,
Yeah.
created in our own creative way. We all
Absolutely.
each have journeys which are perfect for us. And to allow and accept each one we see as a loving being of divine love.
Absolutely. Thank you, Pat. You're amazing.
Thank you for that beautiful message. Thank you very much.
God bless you.
God bless you.
Well, not only, I meant to remove you and I removed me. Guess what? Not only is Rissa an amazing tarot reader and psychic and beautiful soul, but she also is an incredible musical artist. And so Rissa is going to bless us with a musical experience.
Yes. Okay. Can you hear me okay right now? Is it echoing at all?
Perfect. Yep.
Okay, perfect. I'm going to go ahead and start the music. If it echoes, just let me know. But I think
If you see me doing this, that means echo is a problem.
Can you hear me now? Okay, cool. Perfect. All right, let's go. This song is called Healers Unite. This is a call to all the healers, all the light beings in the world coming together and healing the world. And I'm going to put my headphones on for this so I can hear the music. And it's more of a chant, but this song goes into the next song that I'll perform after. That's kind of this, I have this vision of it being like a spiritual Avengers movie where all the light workers are like fighting the ones that are not wanting the light to shine, and then they all rally and come together with the last song. So this is the kind of pair, the song pair that I chose for today. Okay. Oh, let me share the sound, y'all. Second.
Original sound on.
Yeah. All right. Can you hear it? And can you hear me?
Yes.
Awesome. We are the healers. Healers unite. We came to heal them all with our divine light. We are the leaders. Leaders unite. We came to lead them all with our divine light. We have awakened, woke up ready to fight. We came to raise the vibe and bring shadow to light. We are the healers. Healers unite. We came to heal them all with our divine light. We are the healers. Warriors so lifted, warriors of light, warriors so gifted, warriors unite. We have swam the rivers, sang in the moonlight. We are nature's healers, we are cosmic sky. We got the power, we got the light, we got the fight, we got the power, we got the light, we got the fight, we got the power, we got the light, we got the fight, we got the power, we got the power. We're here to save the world, world. a healer. Put your hands and do the twinkle. Yes. We have swam the rivers, sing under moonlight, connect with ancient keepers, 2 rounds of day new life. With method keepers, gift us our magic rights. We honor our ancestors, for us they gave their life. We got the power, we got the light, we got the fight, we got the power, we got the light, we got the fight, we got the power, we got the light, we got the fight, we got the power, we got the power. We're here to save the world, 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 world. We're here to save the world, 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 world. We are the healers, 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 you are a healer, we are the healers, 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 you are a healer, you are a healer, you are a healer, you are a healer. We're here to save the world. We're here to save the world. We got the power. We got the light. We got the fight. We got the power. We got the light. We got the fight. We got the power. We got the light. We got the fight. We got the power. We got the power.
Growth.
Thank you all so much. There was a little delay, so I messed up a bit, but I'm so glad I got to share this with you all. Thank you.
Hey,
so
let's all give her a
much.
big twinkle for really, really inspirational music, inspirational tarot reading, and just an inspirational being. Rissa Vibes, you rock. You are
Thank
really,
you
really
so
beautiful.
much. Thank you.
You
Yeah, that was
did-
a different experience, like performing on Zoom. So thank you all for holding such space and love. And yeah, I got a big show coming up in New York next month, 12/21, for the winter solstice celebration with all of my affirmation Avengers music tribes. So that's going to be really epic in Brooklyn and New York. So if you all want to join virtually or in person, I did send the link over, Scott.
Yeah, I'm going to go to the link you sent initially. The new one wasn't working,
Oh,
but
that's okay.
I'm here at rissavibes.com, and this is where we can pick our potion. So to get more things, go to RISSA vibes.com, rissavibes.com, pick your potion, and is where you can sign up to, I'm going to accept your cookies. You can sign up and get readings from her, scheduling sessions right here, and all the different sessions she offers: past life readings, intuitive counseling, Reiki, cleansing and chakra stuff. So all this is at rissavibes.com.
Got it. Yes, thank you so much. Can you still hear me?
We sure can. We hear
Okay,
you.
perfect. Yeah, thank you all so much. Yeah, please feel free to also follow me on Instagram at Rissa Vibes Official for more information and direct contact with me. And I'm just so grateful that I got to be on here, and I'm so excited for the rest of the show. So thank you so much, Scott.
Yeah, stick around for the rest of the show, and we'll definitely have you back. I hope you'll come back again soon. Take care, Rissa. Wow, well, we go from one amazing person to another amazing person to still another amazing person. And this is my friend Angel B. We've been friends for a long, long time. And he's coming to us from Jamaica. And when I knew that this was going to be the topic of the show, I had to have Angel on because he lives his life in joy. And I'm just going to turn it right over to you, brother. What would you like to share with our audience tonight?
Well, first off, I'm really honored and very, very happy to be here. It's been a long time since I've been on one of Scott's programs, and Scott's just such a dear mentor and friend and companion to my life journey. So I'm very happy to be here in connection with the community. Absolutely. You know, it's funny, my name being Angel. I have a little 7-year-old friend who's Dutch, and he can't say my name, Angel. He says enjoy.
That's great. That's perfect.
So he calls me, hey, enjoy. I think that's the best pronunciation yet today. So yeah, and that being said, you know, it really is a reflection of what I want to share today, which is my favorite part of me, my favorite sub-personality is my 7-year-old, my own 7-year-old. And that's who I live by. And I love to nourish him. I love to share him and show him in the world. And yes, now I'm in my 60s. And still my 7-year-old is my favorite part that I love to share and show. And I feel that's really an important part of us as adults and as human beings is we take life far too seriously. Come on, really, right? And that's why joy is so important. This aspect of you know, the child, the innocence of the child and the curiosity. Curiosity is one of my favorite things, and always curious about other people and how does this work and why is that flower so wonderful? And so it allows me, it invites me, and I invite you to really kind of explore the world around you, even the ordinary things, with a sense of wonder and awe. And that's what makes life so joyful for me. You know, we think of a child, right? When you think of a child, it's their sense of fun, imagination, and playfulness, right? And so one of the things that I love to play with as an adult and as a fun-loving person is something that kind of comes from my culture in Jamaica, actually. It's what we call in Jamaica word power, and what other people might consider as word play, right? More common term for it. It's being playful with words. And I feel as a conscious person and somebody who's working with other people to raise the consciousness on the planet, that words are really, really important. And so how we use our words and our relationship to words is really significant and can be very helpful in raising our consciousness, how we relate to life. Because words are all about spells, right? Well, do you agree? Spells, right? And we talk this spelling and getting the spelling right, but it's casting spells. And so in Jamaica, where I grew up, the culture here, having come from a background of slavery and disempowerment, is really about looking at how we use our words in our Jamaican local language and slang to raise our self-dignity, to plant a sense of greater truth and honesty and positivity into ourselves as a culture through our language. And so for example, one of the things in Jamaica you might hear somebody say is we don't dedicate our life to something, because dead kind of has a heavy, dense energy to it. And so instead we say, no, I'm going to livicate myself to it. Right? So rather than death, we live. So what are you willing to live for? And so this is the background that I come from, that I love to share, is this idea of being creative with your language, being playful with it, and reinventing words that actually are more life-affirming, potentially more truthful, and more clear when we actually use them. And this is what I think is a key to elevating consciousness on the planet, is really planting new codes of how we communicate through wordplay. I like to call them angelisms. And so I'm working on putting together a book of angelisms, and I have a video series that's coming out. And so, for example, one of you know, since we're talking about joy, the word phenomenal, right? Why not it be phenomenal, right? If it's phenomenal, it should be fun, right? So make it phenomenal. Another one that maybe is a little bit more of a stretch is this one I really like, is the word incandescence. What does incandescence mean, right? Kind of not a common word we use, but it means to shine, right? Sparkly, glowing, glittery, bright. And to me, the word incandescence means in your candid essence. In your candid essence, when you're deeply in your truth and your authentic self, this is when you shine. This is when you're brightest. This is when people recognize you, right? And feel you is when you're in your authentic self, in your heart and in your brightness, owning who you are. This is your incandescence. You're in your candid essence. So these are the types of things I love. Another one that speaks a lot to who I am is the word celebration. I do a lot of work, somewhat like Scott as well. I'm just starting to be the MC of weddings and celebrations. And so one of my titles is Chief Celebrate. And this is who I am, right? Joyful playfulness. Why not? Be Chief Celebrate. And so celebrate, to me, what does it sound like? You slow it down and break it down. Liberate, right? It's when you're at a cellular level, your body's just liberated, free, bright and alive, fully enlivened, right? It's liberating yourself at a cellular level. And so celebrate is liberate. So this is what I encourage each of you to kind of notice what words you have that you're using day to day.
Hey, Angel, one moment. Several people have asked if you could turn your volume up. Is that possible?
I can try.
Thank you.
You know, I found that the volume was fine on my end, so it may, I don't know if other people,
Is that better? I can hear it louder on my side. I don't know if you're hearing it louder on your side.
sounds the same to me, but Charlotte says it's finding it low still. You know, it's funny, I'm wondering if it's one of those things where on some systems that are stereo, we're hearing you loud, and on other systems, it's lighter. Because your volume was fine for me.
Okay, well, I'm not sure.
And while you're working on it, Pam writes, these new words are fun-tastic.
Fantastic, absolutely. Thank you, Pam. Yeah, please share yours in the chat if there's some fun ones coming to mind. And the volume is in the Zoom toolbar or in my computer.
It's in the Zoom settings.
Ah, okay.
And then you go to audio. When you get Zoom settings, you scroll down to audio.
While he's doing that, I will read a few other comments that have come in. Ayada shared a great story about, everyday miracles and parking karma. She writes, intending to find a good parking spot, I heard someone talk about requesting perfect parking karma. So I decided to try it out, and it works. Since then, whenever I'm heading to a destination, if I hold the intention for perfect parking karma very clearly, 99% of the time, I get a great parking spot. It works way better if I speak and think that intention on my way there rather than upon arrival. It gives the universe a few moments to orchestrate things. Now, see, I love that because we are living in a dream world. I believe it's a dream world. And so she's creating in her dream, better parking spots. Angel, did you get the volume going?
Yeah, I think we should be better now. How does that sound? Does that sound improved?
It's a little better. Just talk loud, brother. It's all good.
Okay. Well, I put it in settings and moved it all the way up, so it should see as best as it can. But yes, I was giving some examples of wordplay as a thing to play with, right? And to enjoy and to help elevate our consciousness through positive, more life-affirming words and choices. Another aspect that is important to me, as well as embracing my inner child and encouraging you to do so, to play with things, is embracing the elder within. And for me, an elder is not a question of age. It's a question of capacity to be present and to listen and to be curious as well. And so one of the things as an elder that I've found in my journey is, it's about being wise. And so one of the greatest wisdoms that I've found is through my own spiritual practice, which is connected with the Hindu Shaivic connections, and Shaivic meaning Shiva. And one of the greatest names of Shiva in this tradition is Sat Chitananda. Maybe if you're in the yoga world, you might have heard this term before. But Sat Chitananda means truth, being, truth, bliss. True being is bliss, right? And so this is the idea, that highest essence of our human experience as spirit having human experience is to be in joy, to be happy. And how do we do this, right? And so this is one of the things as a coach, as a mentor, that I love to teach with my clients, is that we all have at least one purpose in common. And that purpose is your job. And it's not the job that you do for work to make money. It's your job, your J-O-B, which is the joy of being you. Your job is your joy of being you. And so this is really how being yourself and finding a joyful way to exist as who you are, as your authentic self, can really be a way to elevate your consciousness, to awaken to who you are, to awaken the collective. Because I think it's something that we all as human beings want, is to be free to be ourselves. As human beings, I love the idea of freedom. To me, it's one of the most valuable values the most priority values that I have. And I think that's probably true for a lot of people. And so, but what do we want to be free for? I think the number one thing we want to be free is to be ourselves, to be accepted for who we are, to be accepted as we are. And so this is a sacred journey of Sat Chitananda. True being is bliss. And this is one of the greatest teachings from the yogic traditions. And it crosses into the spiritual tradition as well, right? To be in joy is to be at peace with ourselves. And to be at peace with each other, that I get to be free to be me. I'd love you to be free to be you as well. And so this really is a big part of our path, my path, for raising consciousness, and to do that and share that with others. One of the pieces of that, something that I often hear in these conscious communities is, well, live your life, really be free, live your life. And in a way, I see that as not necessarily the right message. Because for a lot of us in the world, we have a mentality through our conditioning, to our experience, that life is hard, life is suffering. And so living our life can often be like, oh, okay, it's suffering, it's hard, right? So why not my story, my invitation, my affirmation, don't live your life, live your light, live your light. That's your inner radiance, your joyfulness, your expression, your aliveness, right? This is really what we should be aiming for. Because yeah, life is challenging, life is hard, but the light is eternal. The light is who your true essence is. And when you have the wisdom and the clarity of understanding to know this at a deep inner level, this is what drives us forward in life, is to live our life. And again, being playful, I love acronyms. So the word light as an acronym, and I might say I'm an acronym maniac because I love acronyms. The word light is a play on words as well. Light, L stands for love, I stands for inspiration, G stands for gratitude, H stands for happiness or health, and T for truth, right? So if you align yourself to each of these values, each of these principles, you're going to be living your light, which when you do so and align with that, you're aligning with your highest self, with consciousness as it wishes to express through you. And this is going to be a joyful journey. I know that it is for me, and these are some of the ways that I get to be who I am. And you get to be who you are.
That's fantastic. I'm going to read some of the comments coming in. Eleanor Joy writes, another brilliant show, Scott. Thank you for these amazing speakers. Carol Simus wrote, free to be, FTB, follow the bliss. So FTB is a good one. Connie and Andrew write, love angels, funcabulary. Angel B and Swami are both inspiring this way. Dr. Laura writes, I love freedom too. Charlotte writes, this is so lovely. Thank you, Angel. I am the joy of being who you are. There were a couple of others that came in. So beautiful. You can find Angel B on Instagram, and I pulled up his Instagram page. So if you go to Instagram and you write Angel _ B Love, that's where you'll find him. And there he is. There are some of his different posts, and hopefully soon the angelisms. I'm excited about angelisms.
And a new website coming soon. It's in progress at the moment.
So as soon as that website is up, please let me know so I can promote it and present it to our audience, okay?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. There you go. I like that. Another one of my favorite ones is intimacy. Into me see.
I learned that one from Scott.
It's an oldie but goodie. It's an oldie.
Indeed.
I love you so much, Angel. Thank you for being with us tonight.
Thank you for having me, Scott. Such a pleasure. Thank you, everyone.
So, it's funny. I had arranged, I periodically come up to Nevada City because I have many friends here and clients. And so I'd planned to come up this weekend because my good buddy Jonathan wanted me to dog sit for him, which I love to do. And he got home this afternoon and he said, what's your show on tonight? I said, oh, it's all about joy. And I got about that far and I realized this is the guy who wrote the book on joy. Jonathan Robinson, who you're going to meet in just a moment, is the best-selling author of about 14 or 15 books now, including The Technology of Joy, a very popular book where he provided 101 apps, gadgets, tools, and supplements for feeling more delight in your life. And I realized, oh my God, I'm in his home. I didn't even think to invite Jonathan to be on the show to talk about this. I asked him if he'd be willing to jump in, and the wonderful gentleman and good friend that he is, he agreed. And so with no further ado, coming all the way from the room next door is my good buddy, Jonathan Robinson.
Always good to have you or see you, Scott. And I'm glad we make this happen. I hope to give some of my best tips for finding joy. And as you know, I'm kind of into methods. So you may have noticed there's not a lot of people dancing in the streets or a lot of joy going on. So you have to help people get to a place of joy. And we need little things. So I call them the 4 Ps: play, pets, props, and remembering joys from your past. So let me go into that because there's really a science to joy. And of course, we're never taught that. So play is pretty simple. Everybody likes to play. Play brings joy. But a lot of people don't ever play. They compete. So they don't play tennis. They compete at tennis. And that's a very different thing. So ways that you can turn what used to be competition into play is to handicap yourself, like play with your opposite hand, or play with one hand tied behind your back. Or a lot of times when I present at workshops about singing or other things, I say you can only sing in your worst singing voice possible. And people have a lot more fun doing that. Everybody's trying to sound good. What if you're trying to sound the worst? There's cash prizes if you can sing so bad that dogs start screaming out of the room. That's a lot more fun, a lot more joy. So we got to find new ways to play. And play usually happens not from being good at something, but from being willing to be outrageous at something. So don't play tennis, find kids to play with, find pets to play with, which is the second P is pets. I have 2 dogs, and they only have one game that they know, which is whose mouth is on top. And they play this game hours every day for the last 8 years. So we don't need a lot of games. We don't need a lot of ways to play with our kids. I have a game I play with my dogs, which is chase. And it's not even, I don't even know what the rules of this game are, but it's kind of like whoever chases who, that's the game. So that you don't have to have complicated games. And I love my games of chase with my dogs. And I love watching them play. You know, when we watch our pets play, you get that sympathetic joy, which is a Buddhist term for tapping into the joy of other people. You know, and that's a great way to feel a lot more joy, is if you can tap into the joys of your pets or of kids. That's free joy. You don't even have to do anything. So there's pour singing, there's playing with your pets. But one of my specialties, I think, is props. You know, for a lot of things, we buy stuff, but we don't necessarily buy stuff for joy. And a lot of joy comes from our interactions with people. And most people are like, yeah, you know, I need to do the shopping list. I need to do this, and life's a bitch and all that. So you need some ways to instigate joy. So I have a bunch of hats. You know, you wear one of these down the street and people comment, or if they don't comment, they're trying not to comment, which is pretty funny. So there's this hat, there's my wizard hat. You know, once again, you give people permission, which is part of another P in joy, is that you give people permission to have fun with you. And I have a bunch of other props here. Here's one of my favorites. This have you seen these head tinglers? These feel surprisingly good, especially when you do them with other people. When you do them to other people, they don't feel quite as good when you do them to yourself, which is really lucky, because if they felt as good when you do it to other people as you do it to yourself, all society would collapse, because we would just do this 24 hours a day and we wouldn't do anything. But I bought like several hundreds of these. You can buy them for about $1.70 on Amazon. They're usually called head tinglers or something like that. I bought several hundred, I'd give them away. You know, if you want to instigate joy, give free stuff to people, especially, you know, give them a head tingle like this and then say that they can have it. They'll think you're Mother Teresa. You know, you spent $1.50, you've given them joy, you've given them a free gift, they can't believe it, and you've passed on a little good joy into the world. So little things like this can be fun. The other thing, many years ago, I started to do magic tricks. And I'm going to teach you all a magic trick tonight. And it's so easy that you will be able to do it. Now, if you have any money next to you, please send it to me. No, I'm kidding. If you have any money, take out like $2. Here's a 20. Here's a one. And what you want to do, you can just see it's really simple. You fold the money in half like this, and then half like this. I have a little story, and here's another one. You do the same thing. Imagine this one represents us trying to find joy in this challenging world. And the 20 represents all the forces working against that. And you can see that this little one is trapped by all the forces of culture and conditioning that keep us trapped in just a kind of a monotonous existence. But the good news is, if you have the right method, you can make that go right through. I'm going to do that again. So you see, this one is really in there, just like we are often trapped by our conditioning. But if you know the right method, you can become free of that real easily. Now I'm going to show you how I do this. But realize it looked pretty impressive until I show you how you do this, okay? So you really do fold the bills in like this, and they really are in there. And then you go 1, 2, I'll do this in slow motion, 3. That's all that happened there. looks a lot less impressive in slow motion, but sharing a story like that or sharing magic can be so much fun. I'll tell you a couple quick stories, and then finish up. Many years ago, I was.
If you're going to tell a story, please tell your Dalai Lama story.
Okay, I'll tell that story too. But many years ago, me and some friends wanted to go to Turkey, to the refugee camps to help the Syrian kids who had been orphaned and such. And so we were calling the agencies, and we said, can we help out in the refugee camps? And they said, no, we kind of got what we need. And we said, well, we have a medical doctor we could bring. They said, no, we got the doctors. And I said, well, we have a psychologist. I'm a psychotherapist, or I used to be. And they said, no, we don't need that. And then out of desperation, we said, well, we have somebody who knows magic. And they said, you know somebody that knows magic? Can you teach these? We have like 20,000 kids here. Can you teach the kids magic? And so I went there and I was doing like 3 or 4 magic shows a day. And, magic really brings people together and sparks joy. So having a couple magic tricks or a couple of props that you can share with other people is really, really fun and really a great way to spark joy. So you never know when you're going to use something like that. Another way to joy is wear something weird. This is a joy shirt for me, meaning it's not your normal shirt. And you're kind of giving people permission to make a comment on your shirt or make a comment on your hat. Or sometimes I actually wear this on my head. And, people who know us go, oh, will you, can you tingle my head or something like that? So those are fun things. But one way to tap into joy that's really simple is ask people, what's brought you one of your greatest joys in your life? And you just remind people that way. You don't have to lecture them. And, people always think back to what was joyous for them, and it reminds them that they should do that again. That's a real simple way to help people. And part of what brings us happiness and joy is serving other people. So when you ask a question like that, that's really helpful. What Scott was referring to was many years ago, I interviewed the Dalai Lama, and I asked him, I do a lot of couples therapy. I do a lot of guiding couples on the drug MDMA. And I work with a lot of couples, as Scott does, to help them overcome big obstacles. Well, I asked the Dalai Lama, what can I tell the couples I work with who are, going through a lot of suffering? And, what would help them to not get into fights? And he said, oh, if you wait a minute, I have a Tibetan talisman that I can give you that can help couples end all their conflict and arguing. And I was very excited, like, oh my God, this is going to be fantastic. So he actually had me close my eyes, and when he had a minute, he stepped out for a second, came back, and he said, in a moment, you'll see this talisman and you'll recognize that it can be very powerful for ending all arguments immediately. So I slowly opened my eyes, and the Dalai Lama was wearing one of these. And of course, I cracked up, and he said, it's almost impossible to continue an argument when your partner is wearing one of these. And you know what? I'm a marriage and family counselor from years back, and it works. I've written books about how to save a marriage and such, but, for 49 cents, you can't beat this. So my wife and I, whenever we get too heavy about something, we just put this on and say, exactly who's right in this situation? It's really hard to get into self-righteousness too when somebody's wearing one of these. So that's that Dalai Lama story. So, invest in joy. I wrote a book called The Technology of Joy. It has lots of tips and things like that. But really, it takes intention. It takes stepping out. I was just with my friend, and she and I were in Reno, and we saw this thing that said axe throwing. Strangely enough, it was part of a bar. And I don't know if axe throwing and bars should go together, but they went together, and we stepped in just to see what it was like. And we didn't want to invest like $30 to throw axes. I'd never done that before. I mean, but the guy we connected with, and he gave us a whole lesson in axe throwing. And I got to throw an axe, and beginner's luck, my first axe went into the bullseye. I said, I better stop there because it doesn't get any better than this. And, just being spontaneous and connecting with people is such a simple way that we can experience more joy. If that doesn't work for you, have a puppy with you, and it'll melt people's hearts, and people will be joyous just by spending time with you and your puppy.
Beautiful. Jonathan, tell people a little bit about Follow Your Happiness. I'm going to go to your website right now.
Okay. Well, it's interesting. Many years ago, I was brought up in a very violent family, and so I had my midlife crisis around age 12. So I got into learning about happiness and what made people happy. And so about 20 years ago, I wanted to do a website about happiness. And there's websites on everything. So I figured I'd never be able to get a website that had anything to do about happiness. But the words finding happiness were available. So the thing that everybody's trying to do in their whole life, nobody ever thought of doing a website called Finding Happiness, which shows you about the shape that most people are in and where our society is doing. But so I got the website findinghappiness.com. It has all my books and such there. And that looks like me. And my latest book, Happiness, Ecstasy, I'm big on one way to have joy is, of course, through the responsible use of various sacred medicines, whether it be mushrooms or ecstasy. I help people with the drug MDMA. I also have the website ecstasyasmedicine.com. And, everybody has their unique path to joy, and you just want to invest in it. And you want to attract other people who are joyous, because us joyous people interested in that, they got to stick together.
Beautiful. Well, that's one of the reasons why we're friends. And, I did learn something just now. I thought I was the only person you gave the head tingler to.
You and 400 other people, but
400 other
you're
people.
still special to me, Scott.
So I think of you, but now I'm, I have to remember you're polyamorous. Hey, again, you can find a lot of wonderful things at findinghappiness.com, his website. And it's really, really fun. All the different books he's written. He also wrote a great book on enlightenment, which is you'll find there. So go to the website and get all things Jonathan Robinson.
Or not. A lot of people don't like reading. So if reading doesn't bring you joy, don't get my books, please, because I want you to have more joy. I don't want you to have another book that is on your nightstand making you feel guilty.
Okay. And Jonathan's going to be back with one of his dogs, because we are getting very, very close to that special moment where we are going to get some readings from our friend, Dr. Heather. So I know a lot of you have sent photographs and pictures. So in order that we're going to do it, we're going to start with Jonathan and his dog, then my dog, Jasmine Bear, and I, then Ayada, and then I'll take a look at who else. So that's the initial order. Jonathan, if you want to grab Sophie, since we just had Jonathan, then I've got Jasmine Bear waiting right here. And then we'll go to Ayada. And then while that's all happening, I'll take a look at some of the other people that have requested readings, and go with people that are Global Peace Tribers. But here she is, the star of the show tonight, our good friend, Dr. Heather Shea. And actually, I'm going to grab you, Jazzy, because I don't want you to... We'll see if Jonathan gets Jasmine. Well, maybe we'll start with Jasmine Bear, I guess, because you got to find Sophie? Oh. I didn't even realize that Sophie was right under me in the table. Well, you get it. They're both right here. Do you
to me? Can I? And this has been fantastic and an amazing evening so far. So thank you.
Well,
thank you all. Hello. Hello, baby.
So here's Jasmine Bear. She's 5 years old. She's a Bichon Frise. And is there anything that comes up or that you think she wants to say? Thank you for the kisses, sweetheart. Thank you for the kisses.
And I want to ask, so she's been with you since she was little, right? You got her as a puppy.
I got her when she was 2 months old.
And have you had any other family members, or has she had any other family members?
Yes,
with?
I had another dog named Boobily, and Boobily was with us. He was with me for 12 years, and he was with her for the first 2 years of her life, and then he passed away.
Okay, great. Yeah, she was mentioning that. She was mentioning that there was somebody else that she was missing. A while ago. She also mentioned that there were some people, and we're not going to do mediumship tonight, though we can do mediumship at another time, both for animals and for people. But she said that was important to her because I was talking to her a little bit before the show because she was just so excited she wanted to come in. And, so she was mentioning that. She was also mentioning that, that there are, and I usually don't do this with dogs, but she does have a lot of angels around her. Again, because of the work that you do. So she sort of came in as herself, but she said, but she has a whole lot of other loved ones around her. Now, as we mentioned before, her essence is love. That's what she's about. She's here for love. She's here for about love.
She's very love. Absolutely. Yeah.
She also, what you know is that, as you can see right now, she's yawning. She considers herself your co-producer. And it takes her a lot of work to put on these shows and these programs. And so she watches you. She want to make sure everything is organized. So she, as you notice, she's around, but sometimes during the show itself, she might sleep because she's tired. She's like, you got it now. I have to get everything organized. But she feels very responsible. So you may even, dogs like to have a job. And so she sees that as being part of her work. She also showed me, and I'm gonna use the word altar. It's not that's my word, not her. But there's a place, or there's probably a couple places, but one place in your house in particular, where she's like, there's candles, and she's showing me a lot of bright things that she, or crystals or things that she's showing me. She's very polite. She's very dainty. She's very lovely, but she doesn't want that to fool you, because you can't mess with her. So she also, she likes other dogs. She's kind to other dogs, the ones that she likes. She doesn't care much for cats. She does like food, in particular the food that you get her, and there seems to be a kind of treat that she in particular likes. She particularly likes fuzzy, and it's either a fuzzy blanket or fuzzy toys that she's most interested in. She'll do a little bit of playing, but again, it's very much on her own terms. She likes to play with you when you're, of course, when you're not working. And she mostly likes her bed, and she likes your bed, and pretty much any place is her bed. So she's very good about that. She's mostly indoors, but she likes to go outside when she can and run around. And again, be responsible for the whole planet. Not particularly fond of cold weather. And she also really likes her paws. That her paws are particularly gorgeous, and she wants us to know that. She's not always fond of grooming, though she doesn't mind it. It's not her favorite, though she likes to look gorgeous. Any particular question you have for her?
No, I think that's good. I know there's so many other people that want to come on, so I don't want to take up too much time. So that was a great start, and I'm going to bring up Jonathan Robinson and his wonderful little Sophie.
Here's
My precious
Oh,
girl.
hi, Sophie. Oh my goodness. Oh yes.
She's 13. She's a mini golden, and she has a non genetic brother named Bailey, who's 8.
All right. Well, you're right. She is your girl. She wants everybody to know that, which they do. She is also the queen of the household. That
Absolutely.
she is, and Bailey knows that, and your wife knows that as well, by the way. That she's in control.
Yeah.
Her role is really to be about sweetness and grace. She makes sense. Her role in the household is to bring you joy. She is your joy master. She is so sweet that you can't, as you were saying before, if you want to play or you want joy, you pick up a dog. She has volunteered herself to be that dog to bring you joy. She can be a bit of a revel rouser too. She kind of goes like, I'm cool, I'm beautiful, but she's probably the instigator. You know, when you're saying the mouths on top of each other and they're running around, that she's probably the instigator with Bailey. They get along very well, although sometimes she finds him annoying. She also loves to sleep. She seems to love, and I'm getting she's watching television, but it may also be watching Zoom with you. Does she like hanging out in your office? So this is Nemo. Nemo likes help. No.
Well, she likes to be next to me as much as possible during the day.
Yeah. So I get the feeling that she's with you and you're watching something, and that could be,
Yes.
working on the screen and all. She doesn't see herself working with you like an office associate as much as she sees herself as your muse.
I wrote a book called Conversations with Dog about a talking dog that teaches her owner about love. So I guess she is my muse.
She is your muse. That's who she is. And,
yeah. She's requested royalties for that, and I refuse. So,
I think she should get I think she probably gets them in terms of love and treats.
Yeah, she does.
And is it fair to say, and I don't want to go into too much on we can do it another time. She hasn't been feeling well recently, but right now she's doing okay. There's some tightness in her. Would that make sense?
She's 13. She has a little bit of a weak heart murmur, and we're concerned about that.
Yeah, so I'd be happy to do more, privately with you around that. I also do work around animals and healing. But I'm not a vet, so I want to be mindful of that. But that's what I'm picking up. I'm picking up she's okay and she's happy, but the energy's there. So let's see what else. She also likes it when you read and also writing. She sees herself as a very intelligent dog. In addition to be beautiful and sensitive, she's really sees herself as having, an intellect to her. Why she can be your muse. It's like, you can love me because I'm beautiful in here, but I'm really smart too.
Yeah.
Any other questions about her? Because I know there's other.
Just if there's anything we can do for her medically, but we can have a private session about that.
Let's do that. Yeah, I'd be happy to. And there's nothing right now that I'd say to worry about. I just think it's a different conversation than in a mass group. But look at her. Look at her. This is when everybody on the Zoom call goes, ah. Thank you. And thank you for bringing joy. Thank you. I'm working on a sermon for an upcoming Unity church locally. And the topic is joy. And today I'm going around going, I need to find some resources for joy. I'm going to get a lot of noses or those little squishy things. So thank you for bringing joy. Right. Take care. Thank you for joining us tonight.
It was a pleasure.
All right. So I'm going to bring up Terry Russo next, and then we'll hear, because she's all ready to go. Here's Terry.
Hi, Terry.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
This is my baby Pipsqueak.
That's Pipsqueak.
I don't know if you could see her.
I can. Hi, Pipsqueak. Pipsqueak was getting some time there on the chat room where people going, "Oh, so cute! Her outfit's so cute." Can we bring up the photo of Pipsqueak? I'm happy to look at yours. Can you put the camera back down, Pipsqueak, so I can talk?
Sure, here she is.
And I love that Pipsqueak is he's a he, right? Pipsqueak's a he.
She.
I just want to make sure.
It's a she. I know.
Okay.
Unusual.
Emma and Nemo, who's been walking in front of the screen, is also a tuxedo. So I love tuxedos.
Aw, I love tuxedos.
Okay. All right. So, and how old is Pipsqueak?
I think she's like 8 months now.
Oh, okay.
She's a baby.
All right. Yes. Okay. First thing she says is, "I love mommy. I love mommy. I love mommy." So we're going to have a very interesting conversation. She loves you. Yeah. Oh,
I love her too.
And right. And that's the other section. She said, "And mommy loves me too." Where did she come from? She said she found you. Where did she come from?
Well, a patient of mine and her mother, they know I love animals. They always bring animals to their sessions. And they're like, "Oh, there's a litter of kittens in a barn in Vermont. A friend of mine owns the house and he's a paraplegic veteran. He can't take care of them." So she rescued all of them. And she's like, "I figured you'd want one because your last baby died like over a year ago." I'm like, "Yes." So she brought the whole litter to my office and I picked her. My husband and I, we picked her out of the whole litter and they all got great homes.
That's great. Yeah, she was saying that there was something special about the way that you got her, and she also is saying that she picked you, and energetically they sometimes
She did.
Look at me. Yeah, smart. She's smart. She is. I'm gonna say her essence. You've already figured this out. Is mischief. She
yeah.
She can do the I'm love and I'm cute, but she's coming straight forward with, not trouble. There's not trouble, but she just keeps you entertained.
Yeah.
And you'll be like looking, wait, where's Peepsqueak? She was just here. Where did she go? And all of a sudden you look around like there, there she is in the bookshelf, or there she is on top of the bookshelf, or there she is somewhere else. So that's that, and that's what we're using the theme of joy and play. You have a fur package of joy and play is really what she is about and what she wants to be. She really likes playing, but particularly if you're attached to what she's playing with. So you can give her a toy mouse and she'll be like, that's fine. But if it's like a feather or something on a stick, yeah. So she's saying, that's what she likes, Mom. Will you play with her, please? She also likes food, and she likes more food, and she likes more food, and she likes treats. And she likes, and you also give her different kinds of treats. And sometimes you may even move over to like human treats in addition to kitty treats. And she says she likes those too. So we can keep going, but I know we have a couple other people. So Pipsqueak is adorable. And yes, you are made for each other.
And she's very spoiled. We call her Bad Bunny sometimes because she hops and she does some bad things, but she's mostly good.
Bad Bunny's done okay for himself too. So
well, thank you.
That's her mischief side. Yeah, that's who she is. Thank you. It was, and I love her outfit. It's quite stunning. It's very appropriate. She's supposed to, right, Bad Bunny. She's a rock star. What can I say?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Dr. Heather, our next person is one of our regulars also, just like everybody so far you've seen. This is Adora, and we love Adora. She always is dancing to Omashar's music. And so she and her beloved pet are next.
Great. Hi, Adora. And who do we have here tonight?
Adora, you need to unmute.
Oh, sorry. Thank you. I have Gracie and Cindy.
Gracie and Cindy. Okay.
Their pictures in the chat.
All right. And Scott, can we show them?
Oh gosh. Can you put them back up again? Well, okay, here we go. Here's Adora. So I can do that.
I saw many of these as I was going through. Oh, adorable.
That's Cindy.
That's Cindy. Okay.
That's Cindy. Okay.
And Grace is, I just posted them again.
Okay.
We can start with Cindy and then we'll go to Gracie if you want, if that's easier.
Okay, let's do that. And I've got Gracie pulled up to show next.
Okay. Well, I'm the trustee of a house, and the purpose of the trust is to care for the owner's cats. Cindy's the only surviving of the original cats that were alive when the owner passed. And Gracie is, I believe, a reincarnated cat. So the trust, the owner passed away right before he set up a bank account for us. So we've been struggling for he passed away in 2011, and I became the trustee when the trustee before me passed. So I was just kind of thrust to this position, doing the best I can, but now we're broke, and I don't know what to do for Gracie, if I should try to continue to keep it together for her. Did she come back? I had this idea, like talking about Joy. So the Joy would be Amazing Grace came back to save the world, but first we have to save her house. So I started a GoFundMe for her, but I never sent it out or gave any publicity to it because I didn't know if I should do that.
Okay.
Anyway, that's the story.
Okay, and Cindy and where did Gracie? We know that Gracie's been there. Cindy's been there for a while. Where did Gracie come from?
That's Gracie. There was an original Gracie, and then that Gracie disappeared. She got old. We never found her body or anything. She just disappeared. And so then Cindy and this other cat that were living there didn't get along. So one day I just went and looked at the SPCA. I'd never done that before. Scroll down and there's Gracie. Same name. Look exactly like Gracie. And I went to pick her up at the SPCA and she was in the window. I go, oh my God, that's Gracie. And then I brought in a housemate to meet her. She'd been underneath the bed acclimating in a room. His eyes about popped out of his head. He said, oh my God, that's Gracie reincarnated. So it feels like she came back for a reason and I don't know the reason. I mean, anyway, that's my question.
So we can start with either Gracie or Cindy. You were talking mostly about Gracie, so we'll stay
right because Gracie's not an official microchip cat. So the trust, so when Cindy dies, that's the end of the trust. So my imagination is we create have so much money coming in that we can buy the house and make it a cat sanctuary.
Oh, sounds wonderful. So I can tell you what Gracie is magnificent. Gracie is very special, and I want to be mindful in this reading to keep with what the cat is saying. So Scott, if we can go back to Gracie's photo, that would be terrific. And if we can't, it's okay.
Oh, we can.
Gracie's essence is magic. She really is about magic and being magical. And that's what she thinks. Even if you can see in this photo how, and I'm going to use the word aura, because this crowd will understand aura, of course, of how is connected. She has a sadness because she loves you very much, and she loves Cindy also, and she loves the house, and she wants it to work. So just know she's doing everything in her kind of kitty power or purr to support you. So she's saying, anything you want to do, she will assist you, taking pictures or whatever else that is. She's sad. And some of that sad is you may see her energy down a little bit. So just give her some extra love and say, we're going to do this. And, from the opening of the show, this is all about possibilities and power and imagining. So you've got a bunch of interesting resources right here. And really looking into, and another call we can talk about, cats and supporting cats. But she would very much like to do that. The other thing is she loves you. And as I said, her essence is about magic. So she really did show up in your life in a very special way. And she's a really good kitty. This is a good kitty. This is, somebody who isn't really trouble, wants to be loved, is really trying to fit into the household, is really trying to make the household work. So she doesn't feel like she's separate or not a part of the trust. She doesn't understand what any of that stuff means. She understands that that you're family and that she's home and that she wants to stay home. She also feels somewhat responsible for taking care of you. So you might find from time to time that she comes over, almost feels like a caretaker to you. Does that make sense? That she gives you extra special love?
I don't live in the house right now.
Yeah.
And there's a lot of negativity in the house.
Okay.
And so she when she first came, she used to purr all the time. So now when I go over and visit, I can get her purring.
That's why I said she loves you. Yeah, she loves you. That's why I'm saying she cares about you and she wants you to be loved. But that's why I say there's a sadness. So that could be what's going on in the house. And again, I want to be careful on this kind of forum. We could say more at another time, but that's kind of around her.
Okay, thank you.
But she loves you and she will purr around you because you know you are connected to her. And Cindy is, if we can see Cindy again, Cindy's like, hello world, this is me. You know, it's like, hi, I'm here. You know, I'm about spunk and here we go, joy and play.
She is. Cindy is so cute. I mean, she's one of the reason I continue to agree to be trustee, even though it's not easy.
Yeah, she's about joy and play, and she's about making everybody happy, and she understands at some level, she doesn't know the concept of trust, but she understands that she's part of a heritage or the household, or making things work. So she wants to make things work. And she loves Gracie. The two of them get along really well. But you're right, there has been some change recently in the household that she doesn't understand. So she will continue her role of joy and happiness. And she would like a little more food, please. So, you know, when you go over, you probably bring treats, and maybe that's what she's saying, but she would like some more treats too. So, but she said she seems pretty healthy. She seems pretty happy. You know, she likes things to be calmer and happier. But she's a little sweetheart. So thank you.
Thank you.
All right. If anybody else is wanting to come on, you need to send me another message because I've tracked the ones that we have had. So if anybody else has a pet that they want to have come on, now is the time to send a message in the chat box right away. Otherwise, we'll wrap up. Dr. Heather, how do people reach you?
The best way to reach me is heather@everydayknowings.com. Heather@everydayknowings, and that's with an S.com. And you can get into my website either through Everyday Knowings or just through animalknowings.com.
Okay, and here we go. Here's the website. Everyday Knowings with Heather Shea, intuitive coach, animal communicator, energy work practitioner, and just a really fun, wonderful human being. Who's the big dog you're there with?
That's Ellie, and Ellie is a sweetheart. She's one of my clients. I do a lot of work with her. And we were kidding before, one of my friends, because I do things like bending spoons and past life regressions and all sorts of other, and you know, but I work with and people, and I'm a medium with people and animals. And when somebody said, well, we do spoon bending with cats? And I'm like, sure, why not? So, you know, open to possibilities. So feel free to contact me about any of that. And as I mentioned to Scott, if I didn't get to your animal today because I think there were some bunnies and other things that may have not shown up, just contact me. Let me know that you participated, and I will do a reading for you pro bono. Probably be a little longer. If anybody I spoke to today would like some follow-up, contact me. Also, if you put, you know, just from the Zoom call, and particularly if there's a medical issue or a question that you have, if you could just highlight that specific question in the subject, and I'll get to you sooner. I'll get to you as fast as I can. So I'll make sure I get to everybody this week.
That is really sweet of you. And I'm putting your website in to our chat box right now. I think Sylvia wanted I'm wondering if Sylvia, okay, Sylvia does have a question. So I'm going to bring Sylvia up.
Great.
And she has a photo of a cat that is ready to be shown. Let me just find Sylvia. Where are you? There she is.
And as we're doing this, I work with horses, peacocks, cats, dogs, squirrels, pretty much anything you can imagine. So if you have another animal, hello, baby. And who's this?
This is Lily. I call her Lily the ring-tailed lemur cat.
That's right. Hi, Lily. And how old is Lily?
She's about 18 months. I came to the household where she lives about a month after she did, probably.
Great. Hi, Lily. Oh, she's beautiful. Hi, Lily. Lily's going, why am I on camera, Mom?
Actually, when she hops up into my lap and I'm at Zoom, I lift her up.
Yeah.
There she goes. Habitually, but this time, oh my God, the focus is on her. So
There's a lot of people and they're looking at me. So no, but she's adorable. So
here's a picture if that's easier for you. There's a picture.
All right. So her essence is, I'm going to use what would she call herself? Sweet, soft, and sweetness. So she wants to be sweet. She wants to be loved. Her essence is really to be around and just to bring not just joy, but make things easier and make you feel better when you see her. She just opens up your heart when you see her. And that's what she's really about. And she's really very thoughtful. She likes to think about things and sort of watch. So she's not like trying to control everything as much as she wants to be a reverberator, or this, a reverberator, if you will, of happiness and calm in the household. So if things are getting noisy, she's going to want to kind of calm them down. Or maybe as you're saying, if you're on a Zoom call and she thinks you or the person you're talking to might need a little bit of fur in their life, she's going to join you. There's been a change in her life recently, and I don't know, I'm not sure what that is. Is there a change in the household at all, or change in her litter? There's something that changed recently.
Some wet cat food was donated to her, and so she's trying to figure out which of that cat food she wants and which of it she doesn't.
Yeah, she's kind of confused right now. And she's okay with it, but she's not sure. You may want to help her with it in terms of, this kind is okay. And if it's been donated, is it a kind you can get again? Or is it a kind that maybe you mix some of them together? So
I mostly open them and put water in them, and she licks the water and leaves some of the cat food.
and she'll come back when they're very temperamental and picky. Some cats will just go like, I'll eat anything. My Nemo is very particular on, does he like his turkey or his chicken? So we've gone through a lot of varieties. So, I'd say just work with her. She's happy. She's doing fine. She's trying to figure it out too. So, but she's very happy because she's eating and she's really doing quite well. So
That's
thanks.
good to know. One other question is that evidence of mice were recently discovered in the household, and she mostly stays in this room with me.
Yeah.
And so I'm trying to figure out if there's a way to encourage her to go after the mice. It's not really something she's done in her 18 months of life that I'm aware of.
Is but she's in your room, but she can go out. She can go to the other locations. Is that right?
She's able to. She's reluctant to. Partly there's a young pit bull mix.
That's yeah, that's what she was saying, that there's a dog in the house.
Yes, and the dog is very friendly and is enthusiastic, and Lily doesn't always want to deal with the enthusiasm.
Yeah, she would be happy to go after the mice. She doesn't want to. The dog is, she doesn't feel that the dog will harm her. She just doesn't like his enthusiasm. It's just too much energy for
Yeah,
her.
Ruby is a vibrating package of
Yeah, and where she
yeah.
where she is about being sweet and calm, the energy is just too much. So that's she's not going to go. That's what's getting in the way. I think instinctively she would go, oh yeah, a mouse, so that would be fun, because she's got that in her, but she doesn't. She's mindful of the dog, understandably.
Yeah, the dog is like close to 40 pounds, and Lily is maybe max 10. So,
but it's nice that she's not, afraid. But they're better off separate, at least for now. So,
thank you very much appreciation.
My pleasure. Thank you. She's lovely.
Okay, we have one last person. This will be our last one for the night, and this is Heidi. And I'm bringing Heidi up, and she has quite a few dogs. She has 9 dogs. I'm going to bring a picture of the 9 dogs up for you. Hang on, let me get rid of this one. Here we go. And Heidi, you're on, and here are your dogs.
Oh, Heidi, they're gorgeous. And Heidi, what I'm going to suggest is that you do contact me so we can go through each of them, since we don't have time for that tonight. Is there one in particular you would like me to speak with tonight?
Oh, it's so hard to choose. Yes, the big one.
The big one.
Yeah.
Okay. And her name is?
Nani.
Nani. And Nani is how old?
She's 4.
All right. So Nani is great. So, first of all, we are family. So I'm getting this actually from us. I'm sort of getting this, doggy chorus of we are family. So congratulations to you, Mom, because they all get along really well. So getting that from her. And she's going, I am the big one. She's probably heard you say, oh, Nani, she's the big one. So part of her knowing is that she's the big one. She likes being the big one. She feels a responsibility about that, but she's really afraid of stepping on the little ones, because she does sometimes. Sometimes by accident, she'll step on one, she'll sit on one, she'll bump into one, and she's just kind of not just the big one, but she's the really big one compared to the rest of them. So she's very much aware of that, and being aware of that, because she's so big, she also is very gentle. She's like the gentle giant of the family. And she also is like, though she's not their mother, obviously, she feels like the mother and responsible. She's almost like, she's not a herder, but if she could be a herder, she would, she watches out for all of them. Some of them, okay, she's almost going through, and it would be a longer conversation. She's almost going through them one by one, like a mother would with her children, about how this one behaves, how that one behaves, how this one behaves. So it's really very cute. She says that you feed them all very well, but some of them are greedier than the others. So
yes, she is.
Which she's probably one of them. So that there's sometimes, a little, but they're all fed. There's just kind of a variation on who eats the most, or who can. They all play, but again, she gets concerned about her size. So sometimes she won't play as much because she's a little bit afraid. So sometimes she's much more of a watcher. She also, I'm going to use the word, this is her word, she likes to dance. And what I mean by that, does that make sense? She, when she moves, sometimes she'll like kind of have a spinning thing going on, and sort of an energetics to her. So, where she doesn't want to be just, she's not just the big one and clumpy. She's like very energetic and likes to play and run around in circles. Um, she likes to be outside and running around, but she really likes being inside in a dog bed and kind of just like comfortable, hanging out, and will be just happy to hang out with you, you know. And I'm going to use it. It's not really read a book, but she'll cuddle with you. She'll like, you know, hang out with you and the entire family. So, any questions specifically about her?
Yeah, she has a breathing problem. She's had it since for a couple of years now, and I have tried everything and I can't figure out what it is. I don't know how to treat it.
Okay, contact me offline or by email, and let's talk about it, because it's I can feel it in here. We can figure out what it is, if it's medically, if it's allergy, or we can take a look at energetically what's going on there. But I'd like to do it not a Zoom.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
because
you so
I
much.
can feel it in here, and a little bit also in her chest. So it is there. It doesn't slow her down too much, but she does. But except when she's running, sometimes you can hear it. So yeah, do that. Let's talk about that not on the broader call. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you. That was so much fun. I love all the family. Oh my
They
goodness.
are actually, they're all a family except her.
People are asking, how did you get all 9 of them to sit like that?
That's a
Just-
Photoshop.
Oh, it's Photoshop. Very clever. Okay.
Fabulous. It's that, and we can read each of them. Yeah.
Great.
Thank you. Thank you so much. God bless. Thank you.
Well, Heather, thank you so much. You are just so generous, and such a delight. It's been really, really fun having you and learning all about our different animal friends. And again, one more time, you can find Heather at everydayknowings.com. Everydayknowings.com with Heather Shea, Dr. Heather Shea. And she does lots of wonderful things, energy work on her animals. And you can reach her at email heather@everydayknowings.com, everydayknowings.com, or just click here and you can schedule a time. And thank you so much for your generosity. Thank you.
Thank you. It was so much fun. And again, I'm happy, even for people who didn't get on today or want to contact me, please do. For animals who are with us or animals who have parted, I'll be happy to talk to you as well, and do some other things energetically, health-wise. But whatever, we can go into more detail. We'll have fun, since this brings me joy. What brings joy and happiness? Talking to animals. Thank you.
Thank you.
And this program. Thank you.
All right. Well, we're winding down. We, of course, are going to close with an Omashar song. A couple of quick announcements. Wanted to let people know again that Deborah Giusti is doing a free State of the World Part 2. It's going to be on Thursday night, December 5th at 5:30 Pacific time. So definitely join her for that. It's free. Register by going to planetaryascension.org. planetaryascension.org. And we'll all be there. Also, for any of you that live in the San Diego area, I am going to be doing a live event. I'm going to be, I'm on the road. I'm in Nevada City, then going to Reno, then down to LA, then to San Diego and Encinitas, and then to Sedona. So I'm on a bit of a road trip, of course, with Jasmine Bear. And but any of you in Southern California, come to the Interactive Community Play Shop I'm doing with my good friend Viraja Prema. You've seen Viraja on this show before. And so come join Viraja and I Tuesday night, December 10th at 6:15. And we're going to have a really fun time and teach some compassionate communication, answer your relationship questions, and would love to see some of you in person. All right. It's been a beautiful evening, as always. Really fun people, great presenters. So thank you to all of the people who presented. And we get to now close the show the way that we always like to close the show, by going to our beloved Omashar.
What a fun show, holy smoke. And I'm going to sing a song called I Am You, because in all of the eyes of our furry friends, you know, I am you and you and I are one. So let's just go there. I'm going to go here.
And we're gonna go here. Okay. All right. I am you, though we seem to come from different skies. And what is true is the love that shines right through your eyes. Yes, we are here and now, and it's time to leave the past behind. So take me by the hand, let us walk across this sacred land. 2, 3, 4. I am you, though we seem to come from different skies. And what is true, it's a love that shines right through your eyes. I'll sail away with you across the universe. We'll fly on eagle's wings, and you know we'll cry with gratitude. Remember, you're always divinely connected. Our spirits, our bodies are being resurrected. The love in your hearts will lift you up, and I'll come along and fill your cup. I am you, though we seem to come from different skies. And what is true is a love that shines right through your eyes. 1,000 sunny days describes the joy I feel. I'd walk 1,000,000 miles, 'cause you know we'll see the truth revealed. Remember, you're always divinely connected. Our spirits, our bodies are being resurrected. The love in your hearts will lift you up, and I'll come along and fill your cup. I am you, though we seem to come from different skies. What is true is the love that shines right through your eyes. 2, 3, 4. I
you, thank you, thank you, Omashar, and thank you everybody for dancing and moving and grooving to the music.
Indeed.
And remember that we can get all things Omashar by going to omashar.com. And if you scroll down, you can find where to get the links to his albums. We want to go to Bandcamp. Bandcamp is the most generous in giving some money to our beloved. And so let's support him and support our own well-being by listening to Omashar music all week long. That's a really good way to live life and bring joy.
Thank you.
It's all
Thank
about
you.
joy, right?
Thank you, Scott. And after tonight, I don't feel rough anymore.
I'm going to bring up a couple of our presenters are still with us. Thank you, Heather, for joining us tonight and doing all those wonderful, wonderful readings. And my good buddy from Jamaica, Angel B. Thank you. And thank you to Jonathan Robinson, Rissa Vibes, and Zenka Caro for joining us. And Dr. Laura just reminded us that the new moon is in about 2 hours. So this is a good time to set intentions and maximum grace for all of our wishes to come true. I will look forward to seeing you next week. Both of our shows next week are going to have people that are very involved in the whole UFO thing. So that's what we're going to be doing next week. And I will look forward to seeing you on Wednesday night. Remember to make any moment sacred by choosing to see the divine in all. Much love to all of you.